Hello and welcome to Merlin's Manor. Today I'm going to be showing you how to play Zombicide White Death. Now I'm not going to go into a lot of details on the front end of how to play Zombicide in general. Instead I'm going to focus at first talking about what White Death adds, the new rules and everything that goes along with that, and then give a brief overview of how Zombicide plays, and then the rest I'll kind of teach as we go. So the first thing I want to talk about with White Death is they add these guards here who are on your side, and you're able to command them to do various actions. Once during each character's turn, they can use an action to select a zone with guards in it to have them perform an action. You don't need line of sight, and so these guys here could command these guys to do an action, and then all guards in that zone will perform that action simultaneously. The actions include moving one zone, and so they all have to move to the same zone, so you do that per se. Now you don't have to move everybody, you can choose just to move a certain amount out of that zone. And then the other action you can do is melee or ranged attacks. Now let's say that there were two zombies in here. You would then, since you have two guards, you would roll 2 dice. If we had 4 guards in here, you'd roll 4 dice. They get 1 die per guard. And you roll those. And if you see on here, we missed with every single one there. They hit on a 4 or better. And they have range of 1 or melee attack at range 0. And so let's say they were here. We could do a ranged attack on them with an action. And then we would have gotten 1, 5. And so we would have killed one of those because we need a 4 or better to do that. And so that is how moving, melee attacks, and ranged attacks work. Now, if there are 3 or more guards with a cauldron, like here, they could then move that cauldron by, let's assume that this wasn't here for a moment, they could move that to there for an action. Also for an action, let's say we had an abomination right here, which is one of the few ways you can take out an abomination is a cauldron. They could spend an action to put this down here, and it would kill everything that's in this zone. And whenever you kill something with a guard action, whoever was performing the guard action is going to get all of the AP, which is the new version of experience points. It's called adrenaline points, and so they would get all of those. And so if I killed an abomination and 2 walkers, that would have been 5, 6, 7 points for whoever did that. Let's say Dragomir told them to do that. He would get 7 AP like that. Now these cauldron actions can also be performed by player survivors as well, but it's going to cost 3 actions for you to do that. And so it would cost an entire turn right now with not being in yellow yet for this guy to pour this onto here. And so just keep that in mind. It's a little bit more effective to have the guards do it, but you do need 3 guards or more in order to do that. Now guards are survivors. They make noise and can be hit by friendly fire and are eliminated from 1 wound, but the game is not lost if a guard is eliminated. Guards also do not have inventory, they do not have their own actions, and cannot be targeted with an enchantment spell. Now White Death survivors have guard skills under their blue section here, and so this one has +1 max range, and so they'd have a range of 2. This one here has a 1 free guard action, which means that it doesn't cost an action to do that guard action. It does not grant the ability to do 2 guard actions with this character. They still can only do 1 guard action. This one here, guards can do 2 damage, and so they can take out a brute. This one here, guards do 2 damage at range. This one was melee. And then this one over here, guards can push. And then here, guards have slippery, which means that if they are in with some zombies here, we can actually still move them out. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to move out because they only have 1 action, and it would take 3 actions to move out with 2 zombies here. And so, because you have to add an extra action per zombie in an area in order to move out. But the slippery allows them to be able to slip out even with other zombies there. Now let's talk about the battlement walkways. As you see, this line right here is a battlement walkway. Now, once we have corruption on one of those, it's no longer considered a battlement walkway, but becomes a street zone. But these other ones are part of that battlement. And the only ways that you can get up onto here are through stairs or a rope ladder. And there's no rope ladders in the scenario that we're doing today, but you can pick up rope ladders and bring them to an area and then spend an action to put them down. Or if they're already there, of course, you can travel across those. And so survivors must use rope ladders or stairs to reach and leave these zones, or the jump ability. And then you can freely travel between battlement zones. So if this wasn't here, we could easily just travel across there like that. Zombies must use stairs to climb up. They cannot use rope ladders. Or they can have a special siege spawn card that comes up, which allows them to go up there if they are needing to get up there to go after somebody that they could be targeting up there. Zombies can leave, though, without stairs. And so if we had a zombie here, he could climb right on down just like that, because they'll just kind of fall down and get right on back up. But we cannot go down those areas, nor can guards. Actors on battlement walkways can see over buildings for line of sight, and so if somebody was here, they could see over this building into this area here. Same as if they were here, they could see all the way across the board. Of course, nothing can probably reach that far. But if you were where you could target, let's say we had a range of 4, we could actually target somebody in here and be able to attack them from this area because we can trace line of sight to them. Ruins can be seen down into, but buildings cannot be seen into. Survivors can spend an action to take a rope ladder, as I mentioned earlier, in their zone, or to place a rope ladder. Now, ruins are considered buildings, but they are not considered buildings for the purpose of searching. You cannot search a ruin space. You have to be in an actual building space to do that. White Death also adds the freeze ability, which, let's say that we had these zombies here and we decided to freeze this zone using that ability. That means that these zombies, when it comes time to activate, will not activate. Even runners who have 2 actions will skip their entire turn, and instead you'll remove the freeze token. A zone can only have 1 freeze token, and it's removed when there are no longer any zombies in there. So if we'd added it here and we had then killed these zombies, then this would go away. Now let's go over the Defiler Necromancer. Let's say you were to spawn in here on 3. He's going to come right there, and then you're going to add the Defiler spawn zone. That's going to become a spawn zone that happens after all the other spawn zones. And then you're going to place out a corruption token in place where the spawn zone is, if there wasn't already one, which there is one already here. And then each time the Necromancer would move, including its activation each turn, instead of moving, the spawn zone is going to then move that he came in on, and you're going to place out a new corruption zone there. Whenever corruption reaches an objective token, that token is discarded. And so let's just say that this had been here, and this had come forward. You would discard this, and if you needed that to win the game, then the game would be lost at that point because it would be no longer achievable. Also, the game ends and you lose if corruption reaches the beacon here. Now, if a survivor is with the Necromancer when he activates, then he will not move the spawn zone. Instead, he will attack that survivor, dealing 1 wound to that survivor, which can, of course, be guarded just as normal if you have armor. And so it will skip the movement there, instead attack. When Defiler Necromancer is eliminated, remove the Defiler spawn token and the Necromancer, but this is going to stay right where it is. And then you'll place a random vault weapon where the Necromancer died, which then a survivor can go ahead and spend 1 action to take that into their inventory. Now, corruption zones are street zones, and the zone that it's in loses its original properties, such as this battlement here is no longer a battlement. If it were in a building, it would no longer be a building, so you wouldn't be able to search that building. And also, all of the walls in between, so right now there's a wall right here. Once we were to do this is connected. You no longer have to worry about that wall. That wall is now gone. And so that is how those corruption zones are going to work. You can then move between them. You can draw a line of sight between them and all of that. Now let's go over the Khan Abomination. And here he is. And he is going to be a fairly simple abomination. He's going to spawn in. He's going to activate as normal as spawns. But his special ability is he can move up and down from the battlement walkways freely. He does not have to take the stairs. And so he can just climb up and down them. Also, wounds cannot be prevented by armor from the Abomination. And when you defeat the Abomination, you will place a vault weapon in his space face down when he's eliminated. A few other differences between White Death and other Zombicides. It does not use doors, so there are no zombie spawns when you go into buildings. Spawn zones have numbered order now, 1, 2, and 3. You'll start with 1, then do 2, then 3, and then, of course, any Defiler ones after that. Game is no longer lost when there are 6 spawn zones on the game. The game is lost if any survivors are eliminated. Not guards. Guards can be eliminated unless otherwise specified by a quest, a mission. Zombies favor targets they can trace an open path to, and so in the case of areas where there are battlements, if they couldn't get onto the battlement, they wouldn't just gather around where there's a bunch of noise being made. Instead, they would go to where they could actually get to. So we had a situation like this, and they didn't have the stairs to get up here. They would not just kind of hang around right here. Instead, they would move towards the next area. And so let's say that we had a lot of the next noisiest places here. They would move towards this group right here. Of course, line of sight, they would also use that as well, instead of just clamoring around an area they can't actually get to. Zombies do not split into multiple groups when moving. In previous Zombicides, if there was an equal distance that they could go to, let's say if we had guards here and here, they would have split up and go like this. Now you would just choose which one you would want them to go to, and they'd all go together. Brutes now have a higher target priority than walkers. And so you're going to have to deal with brutes first if you are doing a ranged attack. Now I just want to point out that if you are doing melee, you can always choose who you attack. But when you are doing a ranged or a magic attack, you can't choose. You have to go with the brutes if there are brutes in there first. Or they also share with abominations equally. When running out of figures for a type of zombie, instead of an extra activation like they used to do, an abomination would be spawned or give an extra activation if there's already one spawned out there. Dragon Bile and Torch can now be thrown directly from the inventory with a single ranged action to create Dragon Fire at range 1. Dragon Bile cannot be thrown on its own to create a Dragon Patch now. Also, ranged weapons have no ammo type, and there's no plenty of arrows or plenty of bolts. XP is now called Adrenaline Points. And then Lifesaver and Shove skills can be used without having a clear path between zones. And so those are the main differences to go over with this. And so just give you a brief overview now of how Zombicide plays. If you are not aware here, is that you're going to have the player's phase, and in there each player is going to start out with 3 actions. When they get to the yellow, they're going to gain a 4th action. You do that by gaining those adrenaline points until you get up to 7. You'll go into the yellow. When you get up here to 19, you'll go into orange, and you'll unlock another ability here. And when you get up to the red zone here at 43, you will unlock a red ability. So on your turn, you can do 3 actions. You can either move one zone for an action, and you can do that as many times as you want. So you have a 2nd action, a 3rd action. You can spend your entire time moving. If you are in a building that's not a ruins, you can search that building for an action, and you only do that action once per turn. And then you draw a card from the equipment deck when you do that and add it to your inventory. And at that point, you can also reorganize your inventory for free. Another action that you can do is you can reorganize your inventory or trade, exchanging equipments with another survivor that's in the same area as you. And so these 2 characters here could trade if they wanted to. And one person can get all the items in that trade, or you can switch them up equally, or however you want to do that. There's no requirements as to how many each person gets. And then there's combat action, which is either melee, ranged, or action. And to do those, you're going to have to use a weapon, such as the polearm here or the lance here, or the polearm ability is going to have only a range of 1. And then you're going to roll 1 die and hit on 3 or more and do 1 damage. Some weapons can do 2 damage, which means they can take out a brute without any other modifiers. Some weapons are melee weapons that are from a range of 0, and so they can only be done in that area. And some weapons are ranged weapons, which means that they can attack at whatever range. This is 0 to 1. Sometimes they have to be like 1 to 2 or something like that. Magic weapons like this one here also it says 0 to 1 right there. And so you can do that as an action. Something to realize though with ranged actions is that if you are to do it into a space that has people on your team, any misses will be assigned to those. And so let's say that we had this person here with a short bow, and they were attacking into this space, and short bow only rolls 1 die, and so let's roll it real quick. And so they got a 4 or better, or they got a 3 or better, which is what they needed, so that one would die. However, if we had rolled a 2, then one of these guards would die. And so you gotta be careful when shooting into an area where there are friendlies. Then there's enchantment action, which means you use an equipped enchantment. Another action is take or activate an objective, and so these objectives here, you will do something with those as relates to what the mission tells you to do. Or you can make noise, which means putting a noise token on your space. This could be good for trying to help lure things towards your area. So let's say there's somebody that could have been in trouble if you didn't make it a little bit extra noise. You could do that. A cauldron action, as I mentioned earlier, uses 3 actions to either move a cauldron or pour a cauldron. And then you can also, for an action, use the guard action to either do a melee or ranged attack, move or pour a cauldron, or to move. Or you can just do nothing and forfeit the rest of your player's turn. You're going to take all of the actions from each character one at a time until you've done all those actions, and then you'll have to move on. If you're playing a multiplayer game, then each person would activate all of their characters and then move to the next player who will activate their characters and so on. After all of the characters have been activated, you'll go into the zombies phase where you'll activate all the zombies that are on the board. Walkers, brutes, abominations all get 1 activation, moving 1 space. The Defiler Necromancer, as mentioned earlier, will go ahead and instead of moving, will move the spawn zone that they came from and add a corruption if there wasn't one there. And then the runners will get 2 actions on their activation, so they can either move twice, move once and attack and then move, or attack, depending on if there's anything in their space. And then you will spawn by flipping over a card from this deck. Let's just take a look at the top one here. So these are going to spawn walkers. It's going to spawn 4 walkers if we are in blue, 6 if we are in yellow, 8 if we are in orange, and 10 if we were in red. And you would start on zone 1 and spawn there, then 2, then 3, and then a Defiler if there's 1 of those, so on and so forth. Now, one thing to note, that as characters level up, you're going to make it more difficult in that there are going to be more spawns coming out, as well as the blue zombies extra activation doesn't do anything on blue, but once you get to yellow, it's going to start activating, giving them extra activations if they pull that card. And so you want people to level up fairly equally throughout the game, because as soon as one person is in yellow, you're going to be resolving these cards for yellow. As soon as one person is in orange, you're resolving for orange. And then the end phase, after all of that's done with the spawnings, you're going to remove all noise tokens from the board, and the next player is going to receive the first player marker if we're playing a multiplayer game. And so those are the basics of Zombicide. We'll discuss more as we go in. And let's go ahead and actually start by talking about our blue abilities here that we start out with. Dragomir, the yellow base here, starts out with +1 die for ranged attacks. And so this ranged attack that gets 1 die normally, we'd actually get 2 dice in using that. His guard ability is +1 max range, and so guards can attack from range 2. And everybody on yellow gets +1 action. And then I'm not going to go over all the orange and red abilities until we get there, because I could be talking quite a while just covering all of that. Genia here has her blue ability. When she searches, gets 2 cards that she can add to her inventory. And then Yasuki here has the ability of freeze when he does a melee attack. And then guards get damage 2 when done melee. Then Lorna here has +1 free move action. Guards will get damage 2 at ranged attacks. Ogon here has the shove ability, which means for free once each turn, he can shove any amount of zombies out, all the zombies out of his space into another adjacent space. Guards also have the push ability. And then here, Sarnai has spellcaster, which means he gets 1 free spell in a round. And then guards get slippery. And now everybody also has a special thing that normally this is for armor here, but this slot may also hold Ice Storm for this person. This slot can hold a combat shield for him. This slot can hold a spear for Lorna. For Yasuki, he can hold a katana instead. Hornbow for Genia, and here crossbow for Dragomir. And so normally that's going to be just for armor, but that gives a little extra if you have those weapons. Now you can never use 3 weapons at a time, so if you were to have 3 here, you'd have to choose 2 of them to activate if they have the ability to do both. I didn't mention earlier, but this icon here means that you can dual wield this weapon. And so that means that you would add an extra die, or you'd add the die together. And so let's say that Ogon has both of these. Then he would have 2 dice instead of 1. If they had 2 dice on them, then they'd be 4 for dual wielding those, and so on. He also has a special ability, when you have dual wielding with this one. It's going to do damage 2. Those are the basics for the abilities there. Let's go ahead and get started. And the first thing I want to do, let's go ahead and go over the quest itself. Starting out by reading the quest, it says, "The corruption creeps on the ramparts, opening a way for zombies. The last assault has created several breaches in the wall, threatening the district. Rallying the retreating soldiers is quite easy, as they have heard of our past deeds. Together we could repel the zombies long enough for the civilians to get to safety. The soldiers tell us about their previous leader, an enchanter who used magical tomes to repel zombies and seal the ramparts. The hero died in the zombie assault, but his last tomes are in the area. The zombies will come back sooner or later, but for now, this place is ours and we draw a line." So the objectives here are to banish the corruption. The quest succeeds as soon as all of the corruption tokens are removed. Special rules: set up, shuffle the blue and green objectives randomly among the red objectives face down. So we're going to have those in amongst these, and there's 6 objectives across the board, as you can see them all there. And then split the survivor teams as evenly as possible between the 2 starting zones. And then the last banishment tomes, each objective gains 5 AP to the survivor who takes it. The blue and the green objectives represent intact banishment tomes. Place the objective token on the survivor's dashboard. It doesn't take an inventory slot and can be traded like an equipment card. Each red objective represents a fragment of the last banishment tome. They are placed on the survivor's dashboard in the same way as above and may be traded as well. A survivor may gather all fragments on their dashboard to reform the last tome. They discard all red objectives except 1. And so the blue one and the green one can, on their own, get rid of a zone. The red ones, you need to put them all together. Getting rid of corruption for 1 action. A survivor standing within range 0 to 1 of a zombie spawn token, not a defiler spawn token, may discard a banishment tome from their inventory. They resolve these effects in order. The zombie spawn token is removed to the starting spawn zone. So if we were to do 3 here, then it would come over here and then resolve, or then it's increasing its spawn rate. What that means is that now 2 things are going to spawn from this area here. 1 and 3 is what that means there. And then you remove all of the corruption that was adjacent to this. And let's say it was like this. You could actually remove all of this corruption here in that case, which I can see a way to kind of game the system here, because what the corruption does is it goes towards the beacon here. If you did it like this, then these would stay separate. But if we came over here first, because you can choose whichever direction to go, as long as it's when there's a tie, we could actually then, 1 tome could get rid of all of that. So I already see a way to kind of game that if we want to. Because it says this also applies to corruption that is under other spawn zones. If no corruption token remain on the board, the game is won. So all adjacent corruption zones that can be traced from it will be taken out if you do that. And so that is what you need to do in order to win, is get rid of all the corruption on the board. And when you set these out, you're going to give everybody a starting weapon, and you can choose how to distribute those. And since Genia is in the same space with Ogon, I'm going to have her go ahead and trade with Ogon for the first action, is give him the second Shashka, because it can be dual wielded, and when dual wielded it does damage 2. And she has the ability to search 2 cards anyway, and so I'm going to have her for a second action move into there and search. And so let's see what we get here. We get the lightning bolt and disintegrate. She gets 2 magic, which would be better for the red player over here, Sarnai. But we are not together, so I can't trade with her later until we get together. But let's go ahead and... which one of these am I going to feel like using? 0 to 3. I'm just going to put them both right now so I can choose freely. Later when I find something else, I can move it, if I wanted to my backpack. So that was 1, 2, 3 actions, because I traded, I moved, and I searched. And now I'm going to use these. They don't come with the game, but they're little coins from Everdell. I'm going to use those to mark when I have used a character, so I don't accidentally double use or forget to use somebody. So now let's go ahead and pick somebody else. We're trying, of course, to get all these objectives And then we're trying to get down here and get rid of these. And so let's go ahead and start moving these people out. I'm going to move this person 1, 2 to here. And then have him search for the last one. He gets only 1 card. He got Dragon Bile. Let's just go ahead and put that in the inventory since it can be used from there. And then that was his 3rd action. And now he's going to be able to get this on his next turn. Let's go ahead and have these guys come down this direction. 1, 2, 3, like so. And we don't need both of them coming down there probably. Well, no, let's go ahead and do it. 1, 2, 3. Let's have both those go that way. This round, I'm not going to worry too much about those because it's easy enough to keep up with. Let's have this guy come in here for 1 action. Search for the 2nd action. He gets apples. And for the 3rd action, we're just going to have him do that. And he gets 5 XP. Going up to 5. And he found the blue one, which we're just going to place. We're going to place it right there for now. Unless we need red, then I'll have to move it around. And so this guy is going to then, let's have him come 1, 2, 3 like that. Okay, so now that is our turns all done. Let's remove the 1 coin I actually put out. No, 2 coins I actually put out. And then let's go ahead and start with spawner 1. We have walkers, 4 of them. 4 walkers on spawn zone number 1. And then we have an abomination already on spawn zone number 2. And on spawn zone number 3, we're going to get 2 walkers. Now, the only way that you can take out an abomination is with a weapon that does 3 damage, which there aren't any innate weapons that do that, but sometimes you can get +1 on a character ability, or you can use the Dragon Bile and Torch combined, or a Cauldron are the only ways you can defeat the abomination. Otherwise, you need to kind of just kite him, stay away from him until you can do that. That is the end of theirs. We don't have any noise tokens, and so we move into the next. And by the way, another thing about the cards over here, if you see this symbol right here, that means it makes noise whenever you use it. If you see it with the crossed out through it, that means it is silent. You can use it quietly. And so let's go ahead and figure out what we're going to do next. My original thought was to come up here and get this objective. I can still kind of do that. Bad Idea Magazine. We have your cover story. No, actually, I got an idea. Let's use her. Oh, I should have had her do 1 free one last round. Oh well. Free. There's 1 free guard action for her. Oh, I forgot this person has a free move, so that person's actually in there already because we could have her move. Free guard action, then search. She gets 2 things. Triple crossbow. That's going to be nice if we can get it over here to this person. For now, let's go ahead and just put it in here. And Dragon Bile is the other thing I got. So, oh, we're already together. So, let's go ahead actually and trade. Let's go ahead and put a triple crossbow over there. I'll get the apples because I don't think she's going to be getting stuff early. And then, so we can leave that one there then. So that was 1, 2, we'll go that way. Go ahead and have yellow, search, gets a torch. 2nd action is going to move these guys here. And 3rd action, he's going to start making his way that way. Now let's have green over here do a search. 1 brute on each corruption zone. So we're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 brutes. Not good, right? Oh, and so we've done purple, we've done yellow. We're doing green right now. So let's go ahead and put it on there because we're doing green. So 1 action was search, 2 action was to do that. 3rd action is going to move these guys here. And do a free movement on out of there. Because that is his ability, her ability. Okay, so now red can go. Red is going to move all these guys up in here. Let's just go ahead and put this on here to know we're doing it right now. he is going to search. He gets the horn bow. So that was 1, 2, 3 to there. And then blue, Yasuki, is going to do one action to do this. All these guys go bye-bye. He's going to get 6 XP out of that. And then we're going to put a Volt Weapon where the Abomination was. And so just like that, our Abomination problems are gone. And then he has 2 more actions. Let's have him move 1 to there. Or no, let's have him move in there and search. Because why not? Heavy armor. So on a roll of 3 or better, you can defend. And so what happens is when people attack you, you'll roll dice equal to the amount of attacks. And for any that have 3 or more, you don't get attacked. Oh, I didn't do anything with orange. So first action, we're going to actually spend this one and just take out all those, because why not? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So orange is going to get 5. There's first action. Second action, he's going to move into here. Third action, he's going to do... Wait, don't want to do that this round, actually. Because that's going to put him into yellow. We're not in yellow yet. I may just do nothing with my third action, because I don't want us to be in yellow yet. Okay, nothing with the third action. I could if I wanted to throw a token in there, but we're already in the noisiest place in the game. Okay, so these guys here, this is considered a street zone. They cannot move this direction because they can't move into this battlement from a street zone. And so they're just going to... The only way they can really come is this way. That guy goes there. That guy goes there. That guy goes there. Now we're going to flip. We get a Necromancer. So this guy's coming out on spawn zone number 1. And so is his special spawn zone. Spawn zone number 2. We get a zombie siege. So this guy can climb up onto this battlement because that's where he wants to be. This guy also can do that. But before we do that, actually, we spawn the zombies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And now they can... these guys all have line of sight on this area. So we're going to target this area and move. They're not adjacent to one. That guy's going to go that way. I assume. I don't know if they're going to go that way, actually, because they can't cross into there. No, I don't think they will, actually, because that's going to make it harder on them. And this guy, I don't think it moves because that's not his target. His target's to go that direction. Yeah, they may perform one move to climb on Battlement Walkways and get closer to their destination zone. He's not going to be climbing. He just increases it. So, yeah. This is ignore ramparts and stairs. So, number 3. We get 2 brutes on number 3. And then number 4 for his spawn zone, 2 walkers. So we have some things to deal with. Let's take all of these off and let's go ahead and try and deal with this mess first. I'm going to start out with a ranged action from... So we're going to have all of these 4 attack this zone. So we're going to roll 4 dice. And the walkers have priority over the necromancers, so we have to take them out first. Wow, 4 successes. Only needed 3. So we're going to get 3. Oh, who's doing that? Let's say Jenny did that because she has the free action. 1, 2, 3. So she's who I'm working with right now. We go ahead and get rid of this here. And then for her first actual action, 1. And then 2. And then we're going to have her search. She gets the dagger and the firebolt. Let's see. Go ahead and put the dagger in hand. And let's go ahead and have disintegrate and dagger. And the others are going to go in here. Okay, so that is her final action. And then let's go ahead and see who we want to work with right now. Let's have Orange go ahead and pick this up. So he gets 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, leaving him into yellow. Like those. So he has 3 more actions now because he's gaining an extra action now that he's in yellow. And let's just have him start fighting. He can do 2 damage because he's dual wielding his shakas. He gets 2 dice for that, 1 for each one. And let's attack. Kills both of these guys for 1 action. He needs to hit on 3 or better. Let's do that again. Kills 1. So far he's done 1, 2, 3 actions. He has 1 more left. So why not? And he kills that guy. Okay, now we gotta figure out who we're going with next. Let's go ahead and do red. Have him go ahead and get this. Gets 5 XP for that. That's 1. Go ahead and have him search. Gets heavy armor. It's a second action, and then third action moves to there. So red is done. Yellow has ranged weapons, but none of them do 2 damage. So this is a problem with these brutes right now. 1. The triple crossbow has a reload, which means once he uses it, he's either got to spend an action to reload or wait until the next round for it to automatically reload by itself. 2. See, I do not like his situation right now. Let's not do yellow yet. Let's see what else we can do with other people. I don't know what I want to do with him. Green has free move. His pole arm, which is a melee weapon. I mean, she could attack these guys. So let's go free move. Then 1. And then let's use a pole arm just for the fun of it. Roll the die. It hits on a 3 or better, and I got a 2. So absolutely nothing for the second action. Third action, I'm just going to move there. Now I'm going to take yellow. Have him move 1, 2 to there. Doesn't really do much good right now. They're slightly too far to attack those people. Actually, no. Let's leave that person there, and then we're going to come here. Actually, no. That's problematic because neither of them can take out brutes. Yeah, we just do nothing for that last turn. Oh wait, I'm moving somebody. That person already. I was using the wrong person. It's blue that hasn't gone. So actually blue is going to search. Gets the spear. Okay, then move here for second. And for third is going to give that person the spear. That's all my actions. Hopefully that's not going to mess things up now that I realize yellow's all by himself. Okay, so spawn zone. No, before we do spawn zones. Now there's a wall here, so they can't go that way. So they are going to go after the only person they can see, which is right here. These ones are going to go the only way they can go towards people. That one's also that one and that one. Very limited choices for them. Spawn zone number 1, Abomination. Just got rid of one of y'all. Spawn zone number 2. Ooh, Abomination's got an extra activation. That's not good. And spawn zone number 3, Necromancer. Brings in his spawn zone and gets a spawn. Zombie Siege. These guys got even worse. So, that was a bad round as far as the spawns went. Let's start out with yellow. And we are going to use the triple crossbow to attack this zone. And it hits on 3 or better. We got 2 that are better than 3. 1, 2. Now in yellow, so we can get an extra action. So that was 1. Oh, actually, we rolled an extra die because +1 die. So it should have been that, which wouldn't matter. And then, so that was 1 action, 2 actions, 3 actions. Gets the ice bow. Put that there. Range 1 to 3, 2 dice, hits on 3 or better, freeze on ranged attacks, and does 1 damage. Nice. Go ahead and stay there and use the ice bow to attack this zone here. I get 2 dice, hits on 3 or better, 3 dice because plus 1 die ranged. 5 and 4 just takes out these two, unfortunately, but it does freeze the zone. 1, 2. I feel like we need to get orange out of there. Oh, orange has shove. Free shove. So he's going to go ahead and shove that guy there. Nice. And then 1, 2, 3. He has 4 actions. So his final action, he's going to roll 2 dice. Try to eliminate some people. He eliminates this guy. Okay, that wasn't bad. That was not bad. Let's go purple, who is going to get 5 XP there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go ahead and search. We're going to be placing a walker in each corruption zone. That's not good. And then if they need to get on the battlement, which these guys do, this guy does. Just had to search, didn't I? So that was her search action. Objective is 2, 3, 4. Oh, and she got the crossbow. Put there. Walker goes there. Okay, that's not good for yellow. Well, no, that's not terrible for yellow. Let's go ahead and have somebody... Oh, and she didn't do a guard activation. So her last action, for free guard activation. There's free guard activation, we do that. How many people we got left? We got 1, 2, 3. Do a search for 1. Gets Dragon Bile again. 2, 3, 2. And third action will be to do that. Green gets a free move. She has a spear. So she is going to roll 2 dice, hitting on 4 or better. Gets a 6, so it gets rid of one of those first action. And let's do that again for a second action. Boom. She now has her yellow extra action. 3. And then let's just have the guards move that way. And then blue is going to have the guards move into there. 2, 3. And that's all of our actions. So these guys are... Whoo, that wasn't good. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lost a bunch of guards just then. And then 1 guard there. And let's go ahead and do all the movings. This area is frozen, so we just remove the frozen token and ignore the activations. And then these guys are going to move in there. And then we're going to do 1, get 6 walkers for yellow. Shouldn't say this, but I just realized we haven't gotten any runners, so we're probably due some runners. Spawn zone number 2. Brutes 2. Spawn zone number 3. Abomination. Just going to get an activation come in here. That's not good. Not good. And then 4. There are runners. 4 runners. Things are starting to get out of control. Oh, I'm an idiot. I should have used an action to get rid of this one earlier. And now we have problems. Ice bow 1 to 3. So we need to try and take out these guys and then maybe get in here and shove. Who all can take out people in here? Okay, I have a weird plan. I'm going to use Yasuki. Action 1 is going to be a trade action with Ogon. take all these off. I'll leave that one there since we're activating it now. So action 1 is to trade. Action 2 is to use those. I get 2 of them. Hits on 3 or better. Get rid of 2 of these guys for the second action. Now I have 4 actions with him. So let's do that again. Third action failed miserably. And fourth action got done what needed to get done. That guy's gone. So that's the situation we're facing. That's better than it looks. Green is going to go next. She only has pole arms. So green is going to trade 1. And then going to attack. Kill this guy. So that was 2 actions. If I get a siege, I don't want to be over there by myself. She has a spear. Free move. Use the spear on here. It's a melee weapon, so I can choose targets. 2 dice. Hits on 4 or better. Got 2 things. You can only do damage to these things, so boom, boom. Now, I guess I can take out one last walker in there. Let's try to take out that. Yeah, did 2, but I can only attack this thing, so boom. She's done. Now orange. Are we ready for orange? I think we are. Goes 1, 2 to in there. For a free action, can shove. Or am I ready for a free shove action? Yeah, free shove action. Action number 3 is going to move there. Action 4, let's move over here. Or no, action 4, let's get this guard out of there. Things are looking up. Let's use the ice bow on this area. I get 3 dice. Hits on 3 or better, so I did 2. Priority is walkers. 1, 2. And a freeze token gets put in there. I'm actually not sure if I can attack in here, even though it won't damage anybody, just to freeze. And I think it's kind of a waste anyway, so that was action number 1. Let's go ahead and do that again, though, just because I want to attack. That's 2 actions. Third action, I'm going to discard this to get rid of all the corruption in this area. So, boom. And fourth action, I am going to come... Oh, wait, no. Third action was to go there. Fourth action is to do that. Because I can't move there once that's gone. So basically, third action was to move there. Fourth action, get rid of all the corruption. After we put this on yellow, blue, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Purple, she's gotten herself in enough trouble searching. Let's just go 1, 2, 3, 4 to there. And free guard action. Just move those there. Well, orange already went. Just forgot to put the ticket on it. Finally, red. Red is falling behind quite a bit. Let's have him just go 1, 2, 3 like that. Okay, that's everybody. So let's go ahead and activate the zombies. These ones just get rid of the freeze token. These ones are going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're going to head towards these guys here. These ones also are going to head towards those guys, that's the way they can go to get to them. These guys were frozen. Now let's go ahead and do zone 1. It's going to be walkers, and it's 6 walkers for yellow. Zone 2 is also over here. Going to get brutes, 4 of them. Zone 3 is going to get runners, 2 of them. And zone 4, 2 brutes. I'm going to start off with blue, I think. Yeah, blue's in a good position to do this. He's going to move 1 to here and spend 3 actions to pour that on there. Getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 AP. Blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 AP. Right in the top of yellow. It's a good place to be. Now, who all has Dragon Bile? Red has Dragon Bile. Who all has torches? Yellow has torches. Purple also has Dragon Bile. Oh, purple's right here. Okay. Purple's going to go next. Purple is going to do a trade action to get a torch and going to give a crossbow, because why not? Let's go ahead and give the apples over to maybe. No, we'll hold on to the apples. So action number 1 was to trade. Action number 2 is to toss the Dragon Bile and torch. In order to torch this, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 AP for that. Putting out a vault card. Goes up to 18. 1, 2 actions. Free guard action. She can do roll, disintegrate. Let's have her disintegrate. It does 1. Oh wait, no, wait, I don't want her attacking. No, I don't want her attacking anymore. Reason being is she's right at the edge. 1, 2. Wait, what's she done? She traded, yeah, 2. Let's go 3. Let's just stay right there. Now let's have red go 1, 2, and trade. Gonna get disintegrate. And give her hornbow. Oh, marksman. Didn't even realize I had marksman on it. Oh, and she actually can put hornbow there. Marksman means that you can choose your target. So you can snipe. Nice. So that was 1, 2, 3. For action number 4, let's do some regrouping right here maybe. No, actually no. For 4, let's move those guys up. Keep them ever marching. Green. I feel like going and getting that weapon and coming back. Free move. Pick up that for 1. Basically a better version of the spear. But problem is I can't hold these and that. Oh, I'm not going to want these, I guess, if I got that. So let's just toss that in there for now. So free move. We've done 1 action so far with Lorna. Let's use the Partizan, which has escalation melee, which means it gets an extra die every time you use it in a row. So far done 1 action. It gets 2 dice. For action number 2, it hits on 4 better, so we just got rid of 2. Action number 3, we get 3 dice for it. And we killed 2 more. And as nice as it would be to do it one more time, let's do it one more time, because we get 4 dice. And it hits on 4, right? Yep, so 2 more. That wasn't bad. Okay, is yellow... Yellow has not gone yet. Yellow's next. Let's go ahead and start out with the ice bow. Roll 3 dice because +1 die ranged. Targeting this section. And we kill both of those and add that there. But there's no zombies, so it goes away. So 1, 2. We'll go there just to add some extra protection. So far he's done 1 action. I technically could go up there and freeze that zone. I don't want to. Orange still has to go. Let's advance those guys for action number 2. Oh, this should be gone. Oh, this should have been... Who had this one? Oh, purple. That's purple's from up here. I guess we come here to help defend on the next turn. Even then, we don't really need to be there is the problem. I guess nothing. Okay, move on to orange. Okay, because of that big horde over there, I think orange is going to do some defensive work over here. He's going to move there. Grab this for the second action. Then go 3, 4 like that. That was an odd round there at the end. But let's go ahead and do the zombie things. All those go into there. And then spawns. The zombie siege doesn't need to happen as far as the siege part goes, but let's go ahead and do these. Oh, actually, no, it does happen. That goes there. And then this one, we got runners. 4 runners because we're still barely in yellow. And then 3, we get 2 runners. And I feel like we start with blue to sort out this section. Blue has a lance. We do not start with blue. How do you not get a better melee weapon? Purple. Yeah, let's go 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to attack with the dagger, which rolls 1. Oh, no, wait, I got marksman. I'm going to stay there. 1, 2. Hornbow. Roll 1 die. We don't do friendly fire with marksman, so 3 or better. 3. Didn't need marksman anyway. Now we're in orange. And we can either do +1 die for combat or +1 free melee action. I think I'm going to do the +1 die to combat. So that was 1, 2, 3. We got 1 more action. I'm going to move up into there, 4. Now blue is going to take this. So that was 1 action. Action number 2 is to spend this to do this. And then action number 3, pull arm. Oh, melee is freeze, so that's pretty good. Well. And then number 4, failed again. Purple has one of the fragments. We can't get all the fragments together this round. Oh, we can... Yeah, let's go with green next. Pull arm, escalation melee. He's going to start out with 2 dice. Hits on 4 better, so we did 1. Now we get 3 dice. Do 1, 2. We're into orange now, which is either freeze combat or +1 die combat. Let's do the +1 die combat. So for my third action, I get 5 dice now because we are escalating plus an extra die in combat. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then the final one, I lost a die. There it is, 6 dice. And that's what you get for being OP. Then you just get 1. They're like, no, you cannot keep doing that. That is powerful. Not the most powerful, but it is powerful. And then she gets a free movement, so let's just move 1. We're going to regroup a little bit back. Let's do orange. Have him attack with his lance. That's not the best weapon. He gets 1 die. Terrible weapon, actually. I haven't upgraded. 1. Let's just set that there for a moment. Do it again. Oh, it does it on 2 or 3 or better, though. So 2 and 3. Oh. And then for his 4th action, he's going to move here. We get 1, 2, 3 with these guys. So yeah, we need to all kind of gather there, I think, to be able to get all these together. We also need to take care of these guys. This is the next problem. Dragomir goes 1, 2. Is that the one to focus on, or And they're frozen. Could get an extra activation. 1, 2. It's 3 dice. Hits on 3 or better, so we took out 2 runners and we put a freeze. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2. Blue went, right? Yeah, blue went. I just forgot to put a marker on it. Oh, red has not gone. Red has not gone. Okay, so red is going... Oh, red is... Yeah, 1. Disintegrate spell. Gain +1 die with another equipped combat spell. Does it give the die to that, or does it... That's how I've been playing it. Yeah, with another equipped combat spell. We get a free spell. +1 die because of that. 6, 6, 4, 5, 4. It doesn't matter. Very much dead, even if I didn't have that. Oh, just now getting to yellow with this person. That was 1, free. This is gone now. 2, 3, 4. Because why not? Wait. Actually, no, I know why not. I know precisely why not. We need to be there. I'll have these guys come out then. Okay, last round, probably 1. Oh, they're frozen, so they don't move. This guy moves into there. Okay, let's do all the spawns now. We've got 6 walkers in here for the first spawn. It's going to get awfully crowded. We get 6 runners. Necromancer, just what we need here at the end. He's just in there chilling. And then his spawn zone also plops down in here. And extra activation, all walkers. So it's about to get a little less crowded in there. So there we go. That is the state that we are in. So let's go ahead and go into what should be the final round. And let's go ahead and start off with purple. I'm going to have her go 1, 2, 3 and make her give this to red for her final action. She has 1 free action with these guys if we wanted her to. Why not? Send them on over there. And then let's go ahead and do blue next. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3. No, we actually didn't really need to do anything much with blue, did we? Oh well. I guess he can attack into there. Go ahead and roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they get 1, which moves him to orange. Hit and run or +1 free melee attack. Neither really matter right now. I'll just do hit and run. It allows him to move after doing an attack. Okay, so that was his turn. Now let's go ahead and go with red. Who's going to move into here with 1. 2 is going to give those him. And 3, move him into there. 4, we're going to do disintegrate as actually free spellcaster. 1, 2, 3, get an extra die for power blast. Hits on 5 or better. Ooh, got 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then action number 4, let's do that again. And we got 1. Let's go with green next. Green will go there. No, let's not do green just yet. Let's do yellow, I think. And we're going to do Let's do triple crossbow, I think. +1 die, so we get 4 dice. Hit on 3 or better. Hit 3, 1, 2, 3. Into orange. Into orange, we get +1 free ranged action. So we did 1. Let's come here for 2. Free ranged action. Let's go ahead and do ice bow. Get 3 dice for that. Hit on 3 or better. And we'll freeze. Nothing. That was the free one. Action number 3. We get one of these guys, and this is now frozen. And we get one last attack in there. Did on a 3 or better, so we got 2 of them. 1, 2. And now green is going to go and give that to him for 1. Free move action. 2. Let's go ahead and use the Partizan here with escalate. We have +1 die to combat, so we're going to start with 3 dice. Hits on 3 or better, so we got 1. And then let's do it again. So that was 1, 3, 2, 3. Last attack. We get 1 more die for escalation. And came off, but we got hits on how many 3 or better? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that one's gone. Forgot to mention yellow is gone. Red is gone. Now it's all down to orange. To go 1, 2. Just for the fun of it, let's attack with 1. See if we can finish him off. 3 or better. Got him. And I guess we'd go Bloodlust melee. Not that it matters in the moment. Final action, we discard 3 of these. Out of the 4. Those go away. These already went away. And there you have it. That's how you play White Death. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below. I know I didn't do a full teach on everything, and also there was a time when I actually had to reset and play that last round because my camera stopped recording. But that's basically how the last one went. There was a few differences the first time around. But that was, I finished everybody else off except for this guy who, by the way, couldn't move in here because the battlement, he was kind of stuck right here. And so there, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more videos. I'll hopefully have a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles playthrough coming up sometime, so keep your eyes out for that. And I hope you have a great week and keep on gaming.